My name is Angelo. This is We Want Picks, and I'm going to show you how to make money playing PrizePicks Daily Fantasy. If you don't know what PrizePicks is, it's daily fantasy. You come in here, you say more or less than the numbers you see on the screen, and you can 10 times your money, you can 20 times your money, you can mix and match, you can lose some and still make money. They will even give you free money to play. The only thing you need to do is go to wewantpicks.com/prizepicks, use promo code WWP, and they will instantly match your deposit. If you give them $20, they'll give you $20. If you give them $100, they will give you $100 instantly right then and there to build yourself an entry. You can use that money, build an entry, win, and immediately withdraw. No weird rollovers, no weird commitments. WeWantPicks.com/prizepicks, promo code WWP. I'm going to focus on UFC St. Louis here, and we're going to build an entry. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to warn you right now, I beat the line on every single one of these. I'm building a 3-leg entry, and I beat the line on all of them. I'm still going to walk through it. I still think there's some value there. But let's go ahead and take a look. We're going to start with significant strikes. I don't typically love significant strikes, and if we look at these fights in more detail, they could go any direction. The Veronica Hardy one, 49 seems low for women, but you go through her fight history, and you see that that is a really tough line, especially if there's going to be a lot of wrestling in this fight. Kevin Jousset, yeah, sure, in his last fight, he landed well over 100 significant strikes. In every fight before that, I think he landed 6. So this is another medium of the road kind of line, and Jared Gooden's the type of guy that can end this fight immediately or end up dragging it out. So we're going to leave those alone. The one that I do like here, and this line has moved, is Sean Woodson. I got Sean Woodson at 70 significant strikes, and I will show you that in a second. 74, obviously there's 4 more strikes, so it's a little bit tougher. And we have had some lines here where we won we barely by the skin of our teeth. But I do think we'll be good here. And the reason I like this is because Sean Woodson's not necessarily a finisher. Alex Caceres is a guy that will keep this fight standing. And I think Sean Woodson's going to touch him up, piece him up, hit him at distance, hit him inside the pocket. And I see Alex Caceres continuing to move forward, continuing to stay in his face. And I think this is 99% striking, and I think it goes the distance. And Sean Woodson has gotten past this number many times in the past. So I do trust that. If we go to fight minutes, I didn't love any of these. You can't touch the Rebellis to Spain. This guy has a total of 38 seconds of fist fighting in his last 4 fights. He has stepped into a cage 4 times in a row, and the cumulative total of his fight time in those 4 fights is like 38 seconds. Under 1 round makes a ton of sense, but this is his toughest opponent on the biggest stage. We got to leave it alone. I'm not going to touch that. Vyacheslav Borshev, similar situation. He's a nasty striker with some very real power, and he can finish Chase Hooper, who has been finished before by lesser strikers. But we got to leave that alone. Kevin Jousset, 99% sure that goes to a decision. If you want to add the more there in the 12.5 fight minutes, you're probably good. Esteban Ribabix, we can't touch that. Terrence McKinney occasionally will work his way deep. He'll occasionally have early success and then get finished. He'll occasionally finish people early. That fight, a lot of variables. So I am not loving the fight minutes on this card. If we go to Fantasy Score, what I like to do with Fantasy Score, if you don't know how this works, PrizePicks has their own fantasy scoring system. Here are their points. You get points for significant strikes, for takedowns. What is unique to them in this space is you get points for takedowns defended. So when we look at like the Matheus Rebecki fight, if you think Diego Ferreira can defend a whole shit ton of takedowns, then that might make sense. They don't have a line for him, so that example is moot, but you get my point. Submission attempts, knockdowns, and then obviously bonuses for when that fight finishes and how. I typically look for a huge favorite or somebody with a very juice line that I don't think is going to have that success. If I was all over Terrence McKinney, the less on Esteban Ribabix's line would make a ton of sense to me. 107, that's implying a finish. And all of a sudden, we get a chin on Terrence McKinney. Terrence McKinney comes forward. Terrence McKinney wins. Then that 107 is not likely. But we're going to leave this alone because, again, a lot of tricky variables. Matheus Rebecki should cruise past this number, but we're going to go to takedowns for him. I beat both of these lines. Just the other day, it was 2 takedowns for Matheus Rebecki, 2 takedowns for Tabitha Ricci. The difference between 2 and 2.5 seems like nothing because either way, you need 3 to cash out. But the difference is, let's say we hit the Sean Woodson over 74.5 significant strikes. We hit the Tabitha Ricci more than 2.5 takedowns. And then Matheus Rebecki gets exactly 2 takedowns. And we're talking about when he was in the previous line. then that would just move its way to a two power play. And then you're going to 3 times your money on a 2 power play. But in a 3, let's say it misses, the whole thing breaks in a power play. And if we do the flex play option where you can lose and get paid, well, now you're down to 1.25 instead of 3x. I do think we're good here. I did think Tabitha Ricci was going to get 3 takedowns, and I do think Matas Rebecki will get at least 3. Both of these women are women. They're not both women. Tabitha Ricci in that fight is going to grapple. She's going to move forward. She is a grappler. I do think she gets the 3 takedowns. I see her grappling because I think Tecia Torres will stay in her face, be a little busy with the striking, and Tabitha will go to her roots and wrestle. She didn't have a lot of success in her last fight wrestling, but that's because Lupi Godinez is a very, very good wrestler, especially defensively. Matas Rebecki, I am surprised his line is this low. Matas Rebecki, while he doesn't have a million takedowns in every single one of his UFC fights, that is who this guy is. He will get a bunch of takedowns. He will take you down, he will work, and you'll stand up and he'll take you down, you'll work again. If you look on the other side, if you look at the Diego Ferreira side, he is a guy that gets taken down and then stands back up, and that is a perfect recipe to stack up takedowns. If we go ahead and look at the entry that I built, this is the one. This is the one that if you're a premium member, you got these lines early because I gave them to you early. Matas Rebecki, more than 2 takedowns, it's now more than 2.5, you're probably fine. Tabitha Ricci, more than 2 takedowns, it's now 2.5, you're probably fine. And Kevin Jousset, more than 70.5 significant strikes, now 74.5, you're probably fine. This is my entry. This is what I'm doing with my money. $20 to win 100. Gonna 5 times my money here. I am confident in this line. If you do want to join, if you want to hop on, if you want to grab this exact same entry, feel free. If you want to go ahead and build your own, that's fine as well. The most important thing is get your free money. Get the free money, build an entry with the free money. So if you lose, who cares? It was free money. If you win, you're winning with their money. WeWantPicks.com/PrizePicks. Promo code WWP. Get your free money, build your lineup, and good luck this weekend. Join the Discord. It's 100% free. In the Discord, you can share your entries, talk to people, pick their brains, and go from there. We got about 7,000 people in that Discord. Hop in there. We have different channels. Go into the Daily Fantasy channel and then share your entries, and let's all make some money together. WeWantPicks.com/PrizePicks. That promo code is WWP.